This cannot just be a coincidence. I have noticed significantly more that there is a massive increase in people hunting for side hustles, taking on second jobs, looking at ways that they can increase money. Yes, we already know that we are in a massive financial decline. The economy is really struggling. The UK has just announced that it is in the middle of a recession again, and people are starting to panic. And the more I look around, the more I am seeing other people looking for extra things to do to earn some money. It seems to be two divides. There are those who have not got anything at all, and there are those with that much money that they're able to keep splashing out on paying for people to do their side hustles. I've done quite a lot of research on this, and over the last few years, I myself have set up several side hustles. I've talked about them loads of times on this channel, and I've talked about some of the things that have made me the most money. Going forward, I am going to be doing live versions of these side hustles, some of the things that I'm going to mention today, to see if they can still work for just anybody at all. But also in that, I thought it would be useful to do a video and all the things that I've already researched, things that don't necessarily fit with my lifestyle, but could definitely fit with your lifestyle. Things that are going to work depending on your hobby skill set or things that you're willing to learn. And a lot of these ones I'm really excited to share with you because in my research, I haven't seen people talking about them. I've seen so many videos on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram talking about side hustles, but some of the ones that I've come across, I'm so surprised that people haven't already figured out that these exist or that they can be a thing. And right now is a perfect time to be setting some of these up because some of them are quite seasonal and some of them are really going to work in your favour if you start on them now. Some of them you can set up to be running in the background, ready to go and ready to launch, and it's going to make a massive impact on your income if you get it right. I'm not going to sit here and say it's really easy to set up loads of passive incomes. The reality is, if you want something, you are going to actually have to work hard for it. There are passive income situations where you can make some money, but those are few and far between and they are not really easy to come to. If you're looking for the easiest thing to come to, where you can sit back on your ass and do absolutely nothing, this is not the video for you. If you're interested in putting a little bit of back work in, a little bit of effort in, some of these only require a really small amount of time, just a little bit of knowledge, social media, being able to build yourself a little bit of an advert and things that I can share with you on this channel, then you are in the right video. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. The first thing I've learned, that side hustles should definitely be based around something that you enjoy. If you've got a side hustle that you're not enjoying, that you're finding tricky to motivate, find yourself not really getting on with it at all, then you are not going to want to put the effort in. You are not going to want to actually do it, and you are definitely not going to be making any money from it whatsoever. It seems absolutely fruitless. Think of the thing that you did enjoy doing, the thing that you were really good at, the thing that you excelled at, the thing that was your hobby, your pastime, the thing that you crave to do more of, and think about how you can utilize that, turn it on its head, and use that to make money for you. In some of these examples, I'm going to talk to you about my hobbies and the things that have worked for me and why they've worked for me. You'll be able to do something similar, piggyback off of it, or do something completely opposite, but you'll know what skill set you have got and you'll know what you can bring to the table. The most exciting thing for me that I have seen popping up absolutely everywhere at the moment over my social pages on Facebook and those other kinds of places where you can advertise in your local area are these activity and drink parties. So a paint and sip party or a pottery and prosecco party. I think they sound incredible. I'm not going to go ahead and set one up, but I might well be tempted to go ahead and do one. I think it'd be a great idea because in this kind of day and age as well, it's difficult to find time for hobbies, but also then try and get together with friends, meet new people and socialise. These are hitting two sort of areas together. They are finding something that you can do creatively with a hobby, but then also lending it out to a friend and turning a bit of fun into it. You might have tapas with it, you might have a drink with it, you might just have, a time where you can actually get out there and meet new people. If you've got a skill set where you can teach people how to paint on a canvas, or how to make something out of clay, or how to make a mosaic, something really simple, it doesn't really have to be onerous whatsoever. I know so many people with these little crafts, these little ideas that they can do. This would be absolutely perfect. And the prices are starting around £30-35. There is definitely some money to be made in this. I recently took my little boy, 3 years old, to a birthday party for a 4-year-old. The party itself was not very much money. It was £50 to hire out the room. I thought that was a great deal. And then when I got there, it turned out that Mum and Dad had organised for superheroes to attend. And these 3 superheroes received £250 for 2 hours work between them. Which for me, when you think about minimum wage and the actual things that they did for 2 hours, which was put on a costume, interact with children, play the part of a superhero, play some music and a couple of party games, that seemed an absolute no-brainer. You can get these things secondhand store or online. You don't have to spend a great deal of money on getting these costumes, but if you get it right and you advertise it correctly and get it up on the social media pages, let people know what you're able to do, then you're going to be able to make quite a bit of cash from this. I couldn't believe how much people were prepared to pay, and that was just seemed to be a baseline as well. There's definitely scope for lots of other things, different themes. Have a look online, see what other companies are doing, see what other groups are doing and people, and use that as your starting point to think about what worked for you, think about whether you would enjoy working with children, and have a go at doing that. If you've got a DBS or some other sort of certificate that shows that you're able to work with children, then I would definitely push that as an element as well, because I think that would have a lot of weight with itself with parents as well. If you've got that and other people haven't, then that is a bit of a bonus. And the starting point for this is really minimal. You need something to play music, hopefully you already got a computer, and then the only outlay there would be a little bit of research for your time, setting up your own advertising page. You can use something like Canva, which you can get for free. There is a pro version and I'll put a link down below, but you don't need to use it. You can definitely do this for free on Canva, and there's loads of other software out there as well, but that is definitely my favorite. I use this for so much. And then the other outlet would be a costume if you don't already own one. We're about to enter spring, which is the perfect time to set up this next side hustle, to do some gardening. Literally, as I was about to film this video, I'd just gone online to check my own Facebooks and my own socials, and people are asking on the local pages for somebody to come and do a little bit of gardening in a small area. You can absolutely set this up, and you can either use tools that they already own, or you can borrow some or use ones that you already have for your own garden. It doesn't need to be inexpensive, and again, just using something as simple as Canva or another tool, you can start advertising on Facebook Marketplace, your local areas, and you can get this up and running. Have an idea that you could possibly target a certain target audience. Maybe it's an older generation, people that you know that have not got anyone around, or maybe you've already made contacts with other people. If it's something you enjoy, and gardening is one of those things that can get you out there, have a go at that. The next side hustle is one that I absolutely wish I could do. My daughter does it, my mum does it, but it seems to be a dying trade, and that is sewing. And it doesn't have to be anything significant, but you can make it as big or as small as you want. You could start off by offering simple alterations of clothing that are either too small, where hems have come down, but then it could grow from there. I've seen loads of people making something out of nothing, repurposing cushions or repurposing old clothes from people who might have passed away and making them into something else so that loved ones can keep them. If you're able to do that, or for babies who have started to grow up, take some of their old clothes and maybe make it into a little lovey, a little cuddle, and it doesn't need to be, again, expensive. Presumably, if you can already sew, you've already got the facilities, or as a back off of that, offer sewing classes. I know, similar to that first side hustle that I talked about, what about a sew and sit party? Get people around, teach them how to sew, teach them how to do the basics so that they can learn to save their own hems on their own clothing. They can take things in or out. It's just another avenue you could consider going down. Another trend that I have seen recently is offering a cooking service for people. So I've already seen this from gyms or other local companies like that, and even from the bigger companies like HelloFresh and Gusto have sort of got the idea of this, and then other people have taken it one step further, where they have offered to bake for the entire week. Maybe they might make pies and make several of those and sell them. Or other people have been doing batch cooking. If you're really into batch cooking, why not do it for several people in one go and then sell your products so that they're able to buy those, and they've got healthy meals in 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. This is a nice one. It's only just starting to grow, and there's definitely scope for other people to be jumping on board of this. I'm going to touch on this side hustle because even though I know it has been spoken about many times before, there is still room for this to be done. And again, if you want to target your audience and think about your niche, think about specifically who you could work for, you could definitely make this work for you. Consider setting up a cleaning business. People are asking for cleaners all of the time. Another step off of this that I thought you could possibly do is if you go to a sheltered accommodation place or go to one of these retirement villages for people who have chosen to live together in a community, then you have got a job lot or set place of homes. You might be able to get more than one in one go. You might even be able to get the whole building offer a cleaning service, and that way you're not having to spend too much time traveling in between homes, and it's all there in one area, and it would save yourself lots of time and lots of cash as well. Another area that I would consider if you have got the credentials and you've got the DBS check would be to do some childminding or babysitting. I see people asking all the time for childminders, especially with wraparound school care, because not all schools offer a before and after school club facility, and they're looking for other people to be able to mind their children. If you've got children in a school already and you think you've got the facilities to be able to do it, why not consider picking up extra children, having children dropped at your home in the morning, taking them to school. If you're going to be doing it anyway for your own child, it might be worth thinking about. Pet sitting and pet walking is a really easy one that requires absolutely no startup fees other than you setting yourself up and advertising and letting people know. Yes, you could go down the route of making leaflets and putting those out, but actually nowadays you don't need to. You just need to have a little bit of social media savvy and you can get all the advertising you need done for free. Start to make some cash. Have a look around at what's out there. I recently saw a post for this on, again, my local socials. People were asking for something like £15 for a dog for a half an hour. If you get more than one animal, or you'd have an hour long, then it's easy money. It's certainly hitting more than minimum wage. Another place you could consider doing is laundry services. You could have to collect, wash, iron, fold and redeliver people's clothing. I have friends who already do this. They've got an ironing service and they cannot take on enough. They ended up having to outsource some of their ironing, and it was a fantastic way of them making extra money without having to do too much effort. Again, it's another one of those things that you don't actually need to outlay any cost for other than letting people know. You might want to consider approaching local businesses who have uniform, or if it's a small boutique hotel who might want their laundry outsourcing. Have a look at that, and then again, it's already a captive customer who you will be able to use over and over again. With the rise of websites like Etsy and other similar ones like this, people are becoming more aware that they can sell their own handmade crafts. But not only that, you can also do it through farmers markets, which are becoming really quite popular now, or local craft fairs as well. You can start to make some cash there. It's possible that you can build your own website for free as well if you have a little bit of knowledge. Do a little bit of YouTube looking up, and there are lots of places on there that'll tell you how to do that. Have a look at what you can do, and you can have that running in the background. Think about getting out there, advertising your wares. If you know you're really good at making different crafts, or even if it's baking, making cookies, making cupcakes, making desserts are always really popular ones, but you can definitely get those done and you make some money off of those. The only outlay is from your materials and things that you might need to create the crafts in the first place. Start to get the word out, and people are loving buying these, especially for gifts, for presents. We're coming up to Mother's Day, Easter. It's a perfect time to start getting your ideas out there. My aunt and uncle recently moved to the lovely part of Scotland in Moffat, and around there they set up walking tours. They were quite new to the area, but they have loved exploring it, and it has brought in lots of people from the local area, but also passers-by, also people who are up there for a small holiday, and it has been fantastic to do. So once you're familiar with areas, you could do that. If you live in rural countryside, why not invite people for a walk and charge a small amount for that? If you live in a city, somewhere which has got lots of different cultures and things like that, and lots of areas of interest, you can again set up walking tours. These are really popular with tourists from both abroad and here in the UK. I've seen many advertisements for people suggesting that you can sell your books on Amazon. Yes, you can, and you can do this in several ways. First of all, you can do what I did, which was write my own ebook and get that up on Amazon. Use the KDP, which is the Kindle Direct Publishing Service, to get it up there, get it uploaded. People can download that on their Kindle, and once it's up, that is absolutely passive income. I wrote that several years ago. I haven't had to do anything else with it since, and I still get money from that every single month. You could go ahead and create notebooks or diaries, and once it's created, you can use Kindle Direct Publishing again. You can print it, print on demand, they'll get it out. They take a cut of the royalties as well as whatever it costs, and you're left with the end result. And once it's done, it's done. You can drop on and get yourself a really popular one and start to make lots and lots of money from this. I'm going to be investigating this one in the future to see whether I can actually do that. I'll be interested to see if I can. What other people don't talk about is selling second-hand books. If you have a look on Amazon, quite often you'll see whether it's a new or a used version that is available for the book that you're interested in. And those used versions are coming from people like you and me who are just selling on their old books, the exact same book that they're trying to get rid of because they've already read it and they don't need it anymore. Is this something that you can do? Have a look through your old books. You could definitely have a go at selling them. What about being a handy person, an errand runner, somebody who does those odd jobs that people keep meaning to do and they just haven't quite got around to doing? I have a look around my house all the time and I keep thinking I need to just get those light bulbs changed that are at a really precarious position, or I need to get something hung up, or I need to get something changed or decluttered. If this is something that you enjoy doing, there is nothing stopping you from advertising this as a service to other people. People are desperately in need, and again, especially if you're looking at some of the more older people or somebody who might not have the time or the facilities to be able to get these jobs done, people who are super busy because they're working full-time jobs and then an extra job, and they want to just come home and the house is finished and tidied and clean and all the jobs that they wanted done are put away and done. That could be you. That could be a side hustle that you're able to offer for those who just don't have the time or the physical ability to be able to do it. As a qualified teacher, I am emailed all the time and asked if I want to take on teaching English as an additional language online, or even teaching English to people who are not in school or who, for whatever reason, are no longer accessing the national curriculum within a mainstream school. I could have turned down this job 100 times, and I have done. I enjoy what I do for my own personal tutoring, but there are lots of people out there, and you don't always need to have a complete teaching qualification to be able to do this. Yes, the money is less if you've not got the teaching qualification, but if you have, it is considerably more. You can do it either from the comfort of your own home, or you can do it within a centre. There is lots of different places offering. There's also access to the NTP, which is the National Tutoring Programme, for which, again, you don't actually need a teaching qualification. At the time of making this video, I have teaching assistant friends who have done exactly the same thing as me and done the tutoring programme and still received the same amount of money. Another area which I'm seeing growing time and time again is as a virtual assistant or a social media content creator manager, because the fact is that right now social media is continuing to grow. It is not getting any less. In fact, it is getting bigger and bigger. There's so many more different platforms now, and I'll be honest, as somebody who uses social media quite a lot, I find it really tricky to manage my time, to manage my ability to get videos up, to manage my ability to create and content, to manage my ability to reply to messages. It is really time consuming, but if you are able to be one of those persons that could actually set that up and help and assist somebody with their online content creation and management, then that again doesn't require a lot of skills. It certainly doesn't require a lot of time. Just have to have access to the internet and your own computer or a phone and offer those as a service. This is something that you're going to have a little bit of technology savvy for. You're going to need to be able to show that you're able to do it, and the way that you're going to be able to do that is by setting up a really smart landing platform on other social medias. Other people can see them. So if you're out looking for somebody, you need to look for somebody who's already showing good quality in their own creations and design to be able to have that confidence built within you. So it does need a little bit more tech savvy, this one, but again, it's something that doesn't require any money to set up. The final thing that I'm going to suggest that I've seen absolutely nobody talking about, and if you have, then please do let me know, but I think this is a great one. And the only way I've come across it is because I know of a friend who has done this, and again, this is actually passive income once it has been completed. There are fantastic online card stores like Moonpig and Thoughtful that actually need designers like you and me who can create the designs, upload the artwork onto their website once you've been approved, and then as people buy them, every time it's bought, you just get a nice check at the end of it. And once it's done, it is done. I know she's made some great money from the side of this, and the good thing is you don't necessarily need lots of creative skills. Again, if you use something like Canva, there are loads of designs there that if you tweak just right, and you do need to change some things on Canva to ensure that you're not breaking any laws, because you can't just steal their designs. They do need to have some tweaks on there, otherwise you could get in bother. But you can definitely use that as your starting point to create your own cards that you can get uploaded onto these websites and start to make some money. And that is it for all of my side side hustle ideas for today. But stick around on this channel because I'm going to be doing quite a few of these and some other ones that I haven't yet mentioned, keeping them under my cap just yet, and see whether I can actually start to make extra money using these ideas and others over the next 12 months. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love it if you go ahead and subscribe. And if you have really enjoyed some of those ideas, let me know in the comment section which ones you are going to try. Have yourself an amazing day, and I wish you luck at making all your money.